Children, welcome to our lesson, and I hope you all are fine at home. Let us continue with chapter number 1, Leaving the Valley by Malala Yousafzai. In the last class we have done till here Dr. Afzal. So till now you know something about the little girl Malala Yousafzai, why she was so much turned into an activist later in her life when she was very young, because she loved education and loved her school. Now for some reason they have to leave their native place and go and live in some other place. So what happened next we'll read in this lesson. On 5th May 2009, we became IDPs, internally displaced persons. It sounded like a disease. Now, what is the meaning of this word? See, it is given over here. People who are forced to flee their home but remain within the country's border. Means you have to move out from your native place, but you will stay in your own country. Suppose most of us live in or around Barakpur, but we have to leave that place and go somewhere else and live. So what will happen next? We'll read in this chapter now. Internally displaced person. It sounded like a disease. Now why it sounded like a disease to Malala is the question now. Why? Because you have to leave your place. You are mentally not prepared. You are not able to accept the situation that you have to leave your school, your studies, your books, your trophies, your awards, and leave everything and go and stay somewhere else where you don't know what will happen. So how you will feel? And as if they are untouchable. That means nobody will be able to talk with them. Nobody will be able to contact them. So Malala felt that it was like a disease. My mother, father, grandmother, my cousin's wife and baby and my brothers were all squashed into the back of Dr. Afzal's van along with his wife and children. So many people were traveling in one car, in a one vehicle of Dr. Afzal. So they were all squashed, means they were sitting in a congested position. That means they were not able to move freely in that vehicle. There were children in the laps of adults and smaller children in their laps. So the adult people, they were carrying children, and those children were also having small children on their laps. That means so many people were traveling there. Why? Because they need to leave their place and move somewhere else because of the extreme condition which the Taliban created over there. I was luckier. There were fewer people in Safina's car, but I was devastated by the loss of my school bag. As I told you in the last class, Malala was too much attached with her books, copies and her school. She was sad. The main reason was she has to leave her beautiful place, that native place, and also the books and copies, her school bag, which she could not take with her. Her mother told that you will not be able to take the school bag. See, in this line, my mother also said I must leave my school bag behind. That means I cannot take my school bag. So there were fewer people in Safina's car. Okay, I am having no problem, Malala was telling, but I was devastated by the loss of my school bag. Devastated means, you see children, extremely upset and shocked. Devastated means she was totally moved. She was very sad to leave behind her school bag. Safina's father put his foot on the pedal and away we drove out of the small world of our street, home and school and into the unknown. Why unknown? They don't know where they are going. We did not know if we would ever see our town again. Whether we will be able to see our town again, we don't know that. The streets were jam-packed. There was so much traffic. I had never seen them so busy before. Today is the first time I am seeing them so busy. I have never seen the streets like this. There were cars everywhere as well as rickshaws, mule carts and trucks laden with people and their belongings. So many vehicles were there on the road. You can understand how congested or how jammed were the roads. Thousands of people were living with just the clothes they had on their backs. So many people were living only with the clothes they had on their back. It felt as if the whole valley was on the move. Few people knew where they were going. They just knew they had to leave. This was the biggest exodus in Pashtun history. Wherever the people were going, they even don't know where we are going, but they are moving out from that place because of the extreme condition which was created by the Talibans. They could not stay over there, so they were moving somewhere, but where they don't even know. What is the meaning of the word exodus? Sudden departure of a large number of people. You can see it is mentioned over here. Large number of people leaving a place together means suddenly what happened? Large number of people were leaving the place. The road was heaving with traffic. That means the road was very much crowded. So many vehicles, so many people. In their car only they are having so many people. So you can understand if in 5 cars so many people were there and on the roads many cars were there, what will happen? So it was very crowded. The meaning of the word heaving was crowded. It was a long, slow journey and we all were very sweaty, cramped in together. That means what? It was a long journey. Plus it was very slow also. Why slow? Because they were moving very slowly because of the traffic jam over there. And meaning of the word cramped is, you can see it is given in the book, stuffed into space. That means there were very less space. So they were not able to sit properly and there was not enough place. Usually car journeys are an adventure for us children as we rarely go anywhere. See children, this is a thing which you will enjoy when you go somewhere by car. Suppose the roads are clear, on both sides of the road you can see the trees, the roads are very means there is nothing vehicles, then you can go slowly, you can move around. That enjoyment is totally different while you travel in a car, the roadways. But if there is traffic jam, what will be there? It will not be an adventure, it will be a tiresome one. But this was different. Everyone was depressed. We all were very sad and shocked. We are very unhappy. The meaning of the word depressed is given here in the book. See, very unhappy. Finally, we got through the mountain pass and left Swat behind. So we left our native place. It was late afternoon by the time we reached Mardan. So we reached a place late in the afternoon, that was Mardan. My father kept insisting, in a few days we will return. Everything will be fine, but we knew that was not true. My father was telling constantly, he was encouraging, he was trying to make us feel happy and satisfied with the situation, but we knew that it will not again happen. We were planning to make our way to Sangla, our family village. So this is a place we were trying to reach. So far we had driven in the opposite direction, but we had to take the only lift we could to get out of Swat. So this was the only way we could reach over there. My father then left us to go to Peshawar and alert people to do what was happening. My father left us and went to Peshawar to alert people over there, to make the people aware. Alert means what? To go and tell that yes, this is going to happen, try to be safe and careful. Like suppose what happens, one of us is peeping through the door of the class, and when miss arrives, we go and tell, wait, don't shout, miss is coming or sir is coming. The same thing he is also doing for his countryman. He is trying to go over Peshawar and alert people over there that try to be safe and careful. He promised to meet us later. Later he promised that he will meet us. Who? He means my father. The next day we met up with my cousin Khanji, who was going to Besham, from where we could go to Sangla. So we met our cousin Khanji, who was going to Besham. Besham is also a place, and from there they will go to their family village, that is Sangla. You can see the answer. Why did Malala's father gone on his own to Peshawar? Why? To alert people to what was happening. Don't simply write this answer. Answers will be given for you, but listen children, don't simply write to alert people to what was happening. Malala's father went to Peshawar to alert people about what was happening there and told them to be careful and try not to worry. It was not easy to get from Besham to our village, and we had to walk 25 kilometers carrying all our things. Suppose if I tell you to walk and try to reach your school from your house, how it will be? It will be very much difficult. So think about them. From Besham they had to walk about 25 kilometers. So you can understand children how much long time it will take and how tiresome it will be. Carrying all our things, not simply just walking and sitting. We had our bags and so many things. At one point we were stopped by the army. So army tried to stop us, who told us we could go no further and must turn back. So we could not go further and we have to turn back. Our home is in Sangla. Where we will go? We begged. So we were telling our home is in Sangla. Where we will go? We begged. Means we cried for it. We tried to persuade. We tried to make understand the army. My grandmother started crying. Finally they let us through. So my grandmother was there. She started crying, and finally the army, they means the army, told us that we can go. The army and their machine guns were everywhere. Why machine guns? They kept it for the need. Whenever they will require, they will use it. Because of the curfew and the checkpoints, there was not one other vehicle, was not one other vehicle on the road that did not belong to the military. We were afraid that the army would not know who we were and would shoot us. So see children, the army took the utmost care, utmost rule, whatever they had to do, whatever duties they had, they did. Everywhere there was military cars, military vehicles. Not a single thing was there than a military vehicle. So because of the curfew. Now what is curfew children? Nowadays we all are aware of the home quarantine and curfew. These two words are very much familiar to us since last 2 months. Yes or no? Since a long time we are staying at our home, and we should do that because to protect us and our citizens from this virus which has spread like a massive pandemic. What is the meaning of the word curfew children? You see, if you want to write, you can write down in your book. Curfew means any regulation requiring people to be off the streets and in their homes by a certain time. That means a particular time will be given over there, a restriction will be applied of which you cannot go out and you have to be inside your house. If you are outside of your house, you will be shot. Means what? You will be shot dead. The armies will be there, they will not leave you. So you cannot leave the house after that time. On 22nd of March, if I am not wrong, I think children, we had followed a curfew set by our Prime Minister that we cannot go outside our house. See children, any regulation requiring people to be off the streets and in their homes by a certain time means within a particular time span you have to be inside your house. You cannot go outside. We stayed in my mother's village, Kashat, with my uncle Faiz Muhammad and his family. I was happy to be with my cousin Sumbul, who is an year older than me. So I was happy here to go. Once we settled over there. I started going to school with her. So I started going to school. I was in year 6 but started in year 7 to be with Sumbul. I was a year less but I started a year more with my cousin. It took over half an hour to walk to school, so we used to walk and go to school. My uncle gave me pocket money to buy snacks at school. They sold cucumbers and watermelon, not sweets and crisps like in Mingora. So Mingora is a large city in the Swat region in Pakistan where Malala was born. We never had so delicious snacks as I used to have in my native place. What grave danger did Malala and her family face while going to Kashat? See, while going to Kashat, they had to face the army and their machine guns were everywhere. Because of the curfew and checkpoints, there were no other vehicle on the roads that did not belong to the military. And also, they had to walk how many kilometers? 25 kilometers, carrying all the things with them. Now, one day at school there were Parents' Day and prize giving ceremony as we also have in our school. I read a poem about working hard to achieve your heart's desire. A diamond must be cut many times before it yields into a tiny jewel, I said. Who said this? This is a very famous quote by Malala when she gave the poem, when she read the poem in the prize distribution ceremony on that particular day. A diamond must be cut into many times before it yields even a tiny jewel. That means what? Suppose if I want to buy a diamond earring or a ring, I have to cut it in a proper shape. Then only it will look beautiful. If I want to make you understand more easily, think like this, children. Just if you read a chapter 1 once a while, will you be able to score a good marks? No. We have to read it again and again so that we understand the meaning and we are able to get good marks in the exam. So let us see what happens in the next lines. It was nice being with my cousins, but I missed my books. I was happy with my cousins, but I missed my books. I kept thinking of my school bag at home with copies of Oliver Twist and Romeo and Juliet. So I was thinking about my old books and copies, waiting to be read. I want to read it again. But now we were living our own drama. We had been so happy, then something was very bad had come into our lives and we were now waiting for our happy ending. So see children, we were very much sad about what was happening. Yes or no? Why? Because we were living a good life. Suddenly something happened. We had to leave our place and go and move somewhere else. There again life started. Somewhere else, something else, school was different, everything changed. And I remembered I was very much missing my old books and copies. I want to read them. I was very much touched with those books and copies and I was attached with them so much that I missed them and want to read it again and again. So you can understand children, suppose if you leave your house and go to stay in somewhere else, and things are also left in your house, will you feel happy? No, none of us. The same thing happened with this little girl also. After we had been in Shangla for about 6 weeks. How many weeks? 6 weeks. My father said we could travel to Peshawar. He said we could travel to Peshawar. It was very emotional to see him again. I saw him after so long time. Then, a complete family once more, we travelled down to Islamabad. So together all of us we travelled to Islamabad. And then we went to Haripur, where one of my aunts lived. After Islamabad, I went to Haripur, where one of my aunts lived. It was fourth city in 2 months. It was our fourth city in just 2 months. I knew we were better off than those who lived in the camps, queuing for food and water for hours under the hot sun, but I missed my valley. I knew we were better. At least we are far more better position, in a better position than the people who lived in the camps. You know that camps over there, they lives on the streets. Queuing for food and water. Queuing means making a line. Queuing means making line. See, people making line. Then queuing for food and water for hours under the hot sun. At least we are better than them. But I missed my valley, my Swat valley. It was there I spent my 12th birthday. Nobody remembered. I was upset and recalled how different my 11th birthday had been. So I was celebrating my 12th birthday in somewhere else, and I was missing my 11th birthday, which was celebrated last year in my beautiful valley, that is the Swat valley, that is my native place. I had shared a cake with my friends, so we generally cut the cake and blow the candles on our birthday, and I did the same thing last year. There were balloons and I had made the same wish I was making on my 12th birthday, but this time there was no cake and there was no candle to blow out. Once again I wished for peace in our valley. The thing which I wished for, see, generally when we blow the candle of our birthday cake, we try to make a wish. Yes or no? That please keep my parents happy, please help me to get this toy, please I want this blue color gel pen, I want that copy, I want this book and that dress, all this. So this girl also wanted to make a wish. Last year she wished for the peace of our valley, that is the native place, and this year also she wished for the same thing, but the birthday celebration was different. So now children, we have finished. See, this lesson is adapted from I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai. This story is very touching. Why? Because in a very small age she has faced so much depression, so much unhappy situations that it is very difficult for us to imagine how things are for her. But things have now changed. She has been able to overcome from those positions, and now she is an educationist and activist. In this one last video, I have already given how Malala, we can see her, the speeches, the quotes, this one, whenever she got the awards, whatever speech she has given, these all motivate us. So children, try to read the chapter thoroughly, read every line, try to remember the word meanings, learn it. Why? Because as you grow older, you will have to remember so many things. So if you are learning now, if you are trying to read now, then it will be easy for you when you go to higher classes. I hope you all are able to understand the chapter, and question answers will be uploaded in the next class. Hope you all enjoyed my video, and please try to go through the chapter at least twice or thrice.